Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns trade deadline move. Not moves, move. And we're also going to be talking about kind of the future of the Suns and where the direction is heading here. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like on this video, comment down below what you want to see the Phoenix Suns do, and hit that subscribe button, baby, because we're going crazy on YouTube in 2025. So let's get into it. So just 2 hours before the trade deadline officially ended, the Phoenix Suns finally did it. They traded Jusuf Nurkic to the Charlotte Hornets for Cody Martin and Micic, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wait, who else did they get? They traded the 26th first round pick as well with Nurkic, because Nurkic is fucking bum water, so nobody wants him. But we did get a 26th first round pick in return, so make what you want out of that. But the Nurkic saga is finally over. Nurkic hasn't played a game for the Suns in like a couple months, it feels like, because he had that weird quote-unquote illness, aka his ass fucking got told to stay home by the coaching staff. And then apparently it was really bad. I guess him and Mike Budenholzer didn't talk for a couple months, which I don't believe that, because how the hell are you not talking to him in practice? I don't know. I think there's a little over-exaggeration there, but if that's somehow true, that's crazy ducking by both Mike and Nurkic. They must not really like each other, which I thought was kind of weird, because I believe Budenholzer went overseas with Nurkic when he was training and stuff this offseason. So, I mean, it's finally over, though. This move doesn't really move the needle for the Suns. Cody Martin isn't anything special. Micic is, I'm pretty sure he's not that good. I'm pretty sure he's actually pretty terrible. But I mean, once again, I believe in the offseason with Cody Martin and Micic's contracts, I think there's some with their contracts so that they can get out of the second apron. So that's very important, considering that the Suns can maybe make some moves. And we all know, at least if you guys haven't been tuned in, Kevin Durant was being shopped in the market as well, which is something I'm not really a fan of. I mean, I get the due diligence part of, you got to hear the other teams out. I think 10 teams called about KD, asking about his availability, and they gave him some offers. I think the offer that the Warriors and the Heat were that it was gonna be a 3-team deal, but I think that finally it came out. It was gonna be Jimmy Butler to the Suns, Jonathan Kuminga, maybe 2 first-round picks in 2 seconds, if I'm correct. I'll put the tweet up over here on the screen for you guys to see, but I mean, that's kind of the main thing I'm looking at next, is what are you going to do with Kevin Durant when it comes to the offseason, and what are you going to do with Bradley Beal? I think the whole Bradley Beal situation, I like Brad as a player. I like him as a person as well. I don't have a problem with Brad. A lot of his fan base hates him. I'm not saying his fit here is ideal, but he definitely defers the ball a lot to KD and Book. I mean, hell, he got benched, which I find crazy to me. I think that kind of made it harder to trade Brad and for other teams to come up, It's all about asset management as well. I know Nurkic as well was benched for like the last 2 months, so I think it was kind of hard to get off him as well, because, I mean, you didn't really get to see Nurkic, and if he's not playing in the worst center rotation in the NBA, why would any team want to trade for him? Hence why they had to attach a first-round pick to Jusuf Nurkic. So there's that. But in terms of the future of Phoenix, a lot of people are saying that the Suns are going to trade Devin Booker. I don't see that happening. Book's here to stay in Phoenix. I think you're honestly crazy if you think that. Book's already been through the dark ages of the Phoenix Suns. This is just a frustrating time the past couple years. The Suns are good at acquiring talent, but they're terrible at team building. They're terrible at it, man. They truly are. The Suns can go out and get any player they want. I mean, obviously they're capped by the CBA and stuff, but they just cannot build a roster for shit. The past 5 years have been like that. When they got KD, we saw what KD and Book did in the playoffs, man, as a duo, man. All they had to do was just get some pieces to build around KD and Book. But they instead, I mean, when you look at the Bradley Beal trade, everybody is lying when they say they didn't think that was a good move. Maybe not everyone, but a good handful of people are, because you got off Chris Paul's contract that was supposedly going to be a waive and stretch deal We all thought Chris Paul was at the end of his roots anyways, because he got hurt once again in that playoff series in Denver. And then what else? We traded like Shamet, maybe a couple picks, but Brad's contract it might be the worst in the NBA. And it's a contract he earned. I mean, Washington paid him that money. I think the only reason it's bad is because of the no trade clause. Only Bradley Beal and LeBron James have the no trade clause applied in their contract, so that's something to look at. I think that's interesting. But once again, the Nurkic trade doesn't really move anything for the Suns. It's really questionable though how the Suns went about this. So, because it seems like after Butler got traded by the Warriors, which Pat Riley punked the shit out of the Suns, that's what happened there. It seems like they were just kind of scrambling to find deals. I thought the Suns were going to be more aggressive. You message anyone and they would have thought the Suns were going to be more aggressive than make just one singular trade. So that was something that was puzzling to me. I thought for sure they would have made more moves, so I guess the Suns front office might think just moving off Jusuf Nurkic is good enough and that the Suns are going to turn the season around. I'm going to be optimistic and say the Suns are potentially a play-in team. That's my optimism for the video. But other than that, with the Spurs getting De'Aaron Fox now and Butler, which I don't think really moves the needle for the Warriors, but that's something that manages well. I mean, man, it's only going to get tougher here for the Phoenix Suns, so I don't really get the vision of what they're trying to do. But I don't know, man. It just seems like they were just kind of scrambling at the end, but just making one move was really puzzling to me. I don't get the direction of a basketball team, and I guess the Suns they're not interested in anyone that's going to be in the buyout market as well, so we're pretty much just running it back with the same team, minus Jusuf Nurkic that already wasn't playing in the rotation. I don't get that. I thought the Suns... I'm going to tell you my thoughts. This isn't based off any rumors or speculation. This is based off what I personally think the Suns should have did. I think they really should have traded Bol Bol and some of the guys that don't play. I don't know why Damian Lee still has a roster spot on this team, considering he doesn't play at all. Unless it's garbage minutes when the Suns are getting beat fucking down by 50 points. Hence what happened against OKC. Shout out Bradley Beal for killing it that game. And then Bol Bol. I mean, I think Bol Bol is definitely better than Mason Plumlee. I think Oso Iguodala is better than Mason Plumlee. I don't know why Mason Plumlee plays, and I don't know why Mason Plumlee is still a Phoenix Sun. Yeah, Matt, I want you to explain that in a press conference. But, I mean, if you're not going to play these guys, I'm sure a team would take Bol Bol just off what he can do, you know? Just a sample size, the wow factor that Bol Bol has. I mean, he's 7'3", and he has a guard-like game, you know? A team like the freaking Pistons or the Hornets, for sure, since they lost Mark Williams to the Lakers, I'm sure they would have made a move for Bol Bol. You know, you could have got some picks for him. Tyus Jones, I have a bone to pick with you, pal. I really do. You are a cone. You can't play point guard at all for this team. You're not a starting point guard in this Western Conference. I don't know what your purpose is on the Suns team besides spotting up in the corner. And if you can't shoot, you can't play. You can't play that night. That's kind of how it goes. So I don't know why the Suns didn't try to move off him. A target I really wanted was Lonzo Ball, potentially, but he got extended by the Bulls. So shout out to Lonzo, though, coming back from injury, balling, and now he, not trying to be punny or anything, but now he has that extension. But yeah, Tyus Jones has been very underwhelming, and Matt Ishbia kind of needs to take a step back from the general manager role. I think we need to put someone in here. I like a guy like Bob Myers for real in this front office. I like Bob Myers. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a really good general manager as well. I think that's the type of guy I need in here. I think everybody in this current Phoenix Suns office or front office needs to be in the hot seat, and their jobs need to be at question for sure, because what they're doing with the team building shit isn't working. And if you're going to try to hit the rebuild button, this is the wrong front office to trust to make draft picks for your future. May I revisit? You hit with Devin Booker. Sure. Awesome. You missed with Alex Len. You missed with Alex Len. You missed with Dragon Bender. You missed with Josh Jackson. You missed with Jalen Smith. You got lucky with Cam Johnson. Mikal Bridges wasn't a pick that you made, but you traded for him. You traded Zaire Smith, I believe, if I'm correct. But these guys didn't have a lot. The Suns always go for a player that's really good in one category. You know? Like, look at Ryan Dunn. Great defender. You look at his draft profile, what else can he do? Questionable shooter. Luckily, he's turned it around a little bit. He's got some upside to him. And he's put in some work this offseason to improve that jumper. You know, he's a pretty decent three-point shooter. He's still inconsistent, but it's a work in progress. Jalen Smith didn't really have much of an archetype besides a rebounder. What else can he do? Cam Johnson, he's 6'8", but he plays small. That's the only problem with him. But, I mean, the Twins are really good. I mean, I'm not going to shit on these guys. I'm just saying the Suns front office isn't good at drafting. But they definitely did hit with their picks, for sure, a couple times. But I don't trust the front office that we have currently to go out there and decide what the Phoenix Suns' future looks like, because we will be rebuilding for a decade again, and nobody wants to see that again. I'm telling you, nobody wants to, especially after what we've got to see after the high of going to the NBA Finals in 21, and then, of course, making the playoffs the past couple years, which we've got knocked out in the first or second round, but nobody wants that. And Matt Ishbia is a business guy. A lot of these guys that have season tickets are canceling their renewals for next season. I know that because I've talked to a couple season ticket holders, and they've already done that, so that's happened. And Matt Ishbia likes to make money. You're not going to make money with how this team's performing and just what you're doing with this roster. You're going to lose this fan base quickly. Yeah, man. I think the Suns are always going to be competitive, though, just for the fact that Matt Ishbia likes players that can sell merch and sell tickets. So you're always going to have a guy in the Phoenix Suns next to Devin Booker. Because if you trade Devin Booker, that's another reason I don't believe the Book rumors, because if you trade Book, you lose your whole fan base. I'm being serious. I would say 80% of this fan base is Book stans, that's reasonable. Maybe that's a little high, but we'll go 60-40 here. You're going to lose a good chunk of your fan base, so that's why Book's always going to be a Phoenix Sun. Unless you request a trade out, which you have to kind of do. You have to pay your respect to Book for what he's done for the franchise, and then you have to trade him, but yeah, guys, that's my yapping session. Don't expect much from the Suns team. Nothing's gonna really change. I mean, based on the moves that we made. I mean, really, we're really cooked, honestly. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. Comment down below what you think the Suns should do going ahead with the future, with the off season, etc. And then subscribe and turn on post notifications, because you don't want to miss videos coming up in the future. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.